Okay, I think there is a little bit of a delay here, but we'll get started. I think I am already on live. Hopefully everybody can see that. There is a little bit of a delay here, but we'll get started. I think I am. Okay. I'll shut that down. Well, welcome. My name is Dr. Lenore Murciano Luna, and I welcome you all to this spring equinox activation. And this is really the onset of our great mother goddess temple here that we're doing as part of our CFM, Conscious Feminine Medicine, non-for-profit organization. So we're going to be doing some of these programming for free for women around different aspects of the holy days and all around different aspects of healing and empowerment and reclamation or reclaiming the feminine wisdom. So if you want to know a little bit more and stay in tune, you can join our email list on my Substack, or you can also join. We will put the links below afterwards so that you can join in and know what's going on before ahead of time, or you can also join the YouTube and it will notify you when we have a live coming on. So yeah, let's just take a deep breath here as people join in, and just allow ourselves to relax. Just come together. This spring equinox is a really, really intense energy that's coming in. It's it's a positive energy, but it's very strong. There's a lot of Aries, there's a lot of forward movement, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk about the origins of this, what we call the spring equinox, and then we'll do a process. So I hope that you can stay. We plan to be here about an hour or so, and we'll do a process of activation and of actually tuning in to this energy that's coming in now and aligning ourselves with it. And because it is spring equinox, what we want to rebirth, what we want to bring forth, what we want to allow to come through us, to rebirth into our lives at this time. And so let's talk a little bit about the spring equinox. We'll get started. The spring equinox is, as you know, equal day and night. It is a rebirth. It's known as a rebirth. It is the springtime. And it is a time of we're coming out. 6 weeks ago we were in Imbolc, and now we're coming out of Imbolc. So whatever we were planting, whatever seeds we were planting at that time has the opportunity now in the springtime to start to grow. It's equal night and day. So symbolically, we're still kind of in the dark. We have equal dark. So we're in the dark. We might not have all the pieces of the puzzle yet. We're just starting. It's like that energy's just starting to come through and really birth. It's like really the impulse of it coming through and energizing our thoughts, our creative actions and movement outward. And so that balance is going to be important, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into the elements aspect of it. But just keep in mind that we're in this kind of in between of equal. And so it's, how we move our energy, how we go back inward and outward is really, really important as we step into the spring equinox. Excuse me for 1 second. And so the spring equinox is related in our main culture with Easter, with the egg, with the resurrection, Passover in the Abrahamic religions. And so the thing is that the origin of these things started way, way back, and as it is presented to us nowadays, it's void of those origins. And so the egg, for example, the egg is very symbolic because the egg goes back all the way through the different timelines, and Egyptians saw it in a certain way, and it's related to our sorry, I'm just letting people in to the Zoom. It's related to our really ourselves. If we think of the egg as ourselves, as the oocyte, as the egg that we are, implanted, within the body, the womb of our mothers and our grandmothers, and all of the mother lineage before us, the egg is that oocyte. And it's also connected to the cosmic egg, which is really connected to the cosmic womb. And so the cosmic womb is the aspect of the great mother, the goddess that is birthing us at all times. And it's part of that source, that aspect of source that is in this continual birth, death, and rebirth cycle that is also known as the triple aspect of the goddess. It's also known as the spiral, and it's seen in all the way back, dating all the way back to the Neolithic times, to the Great Mother, and it's in the designs, and it's on a lot of the figurines that were made out of bones and clays, dating all the way back to 38,000 years ago. And so we see this spiral, and I want to share this. We see this spiral, which is symbolic of, again, the death, the rebirth, this triple aspect of life that we also hear about in the Abrahamic religions of, this whole time of Passover and resurrection. And so it's really important to know and to understand the symbolism. So the spiral, for example, let me just show you the spiral. You could see the spiral in the galaxy. We could see it in the galaxy. We could see it in, it's really evident in all of nature. We can see the spiral in a shell, right? And we can see the spiral carved on the rocks that were part of the holy site. To show you one by one, because I can't show you the other ones all at once, and I'm not sure that's coming out. But all of the holy sites of the goddess from ancient times. There you see the spiral as the three, as the three, signifying the birth, the rebirth, the birth, the death, and the rebirth. And sometimes it's just a continual spiral. So it shows us how this aspect of this continuous pattern of life, and we see this, of course, in the cycles, and we see this in the cycles of the seasons, right? So we just came out of the winter solstice and then Imbolc, and now we have the spring equinox. And so this is part of that spiral of life that is representative all throughout the matriarchal communities, and all of the symbolism of the goddess that was here. Like I said, it dates all the way back to 38,000 years ago. And so this is really an important piece, because bringing back and awakening and remembering the goddess within ourselves, and this whole matrix of the divine mother, the one that is nurturing us, that is not separate from us, is an important piece as we continue to awaken to the deeper truths of ourselves. And as women, we start to really bring in and connect with those aspects of ourselves that we have forgotten. And so just taking a breath right here, and in terms of knowing that what we see and hear today in our culture is absent of this essence. And this essence is within us. It's within our own wombs. It's within, the eggs are representative of the eggs that we're carrying and that we actually were. So it's like that transformation. And this cycle of the three, of the birth, death, and rebirth, is also, in the rebirth, there's a transformation that's happening, right? So it's like one thing, it's like this alchemical process turns into another. It's like the dismantling, the letting go, the releasing, the death, and then you have the rebirth. So there is an organic process that we see, and we see it in nature all the time, because that is the cyclical nature of nature and of us. It's happening in our bodies. Our cells are dying and are being rebirthed at all times. It's happening in our thoughts, in our thought patterns, how we're thinking. We're letting go. The whole process of awakening is of letting go of the thought patterns and the conditioning that we've been conditioned to in this patriarchal culture that has been absent of these deeper truths of the mother, of the goddess. And so that process is happening all of the time on all levels. And it happens in our emotional body when we feel things, when we give room for us to feel. We feel the emotions, and we're able to allow those emotions, those perceptions, because the emotions also usually are connected with a belief, to be released, to be transformed. And we awaken to greater and greater and greater light. And so at this time of the spring equinox, we are receiving greater and greater light frequency from the mother. And that's what we're here to actually activate within us, within every cell, which is what we're going to be doing in a few minutes. Now, in our bodies, the spring equinox, the springtime, this particular time in our seasons, and by the way, this is the northern hemisphere, because in the southern hemisphere, like Australia, probably think New Zealand also, they are actually experiencing the opposite. So they're not experiencing the spring equinox. They're experiencing the fall equinox. And so it's really a whole other energy that part of the planet is experiencing. So it's also relative to our environment, where we are in nature. And because we're in a particular space in nature or place, the more that we align ourselves with the energy, it's like we come into deeper rhythm. And so it's important to note that this is in the northern hemisphere. So in our bodies, we also experience, if we look at it through the lens of the 5 element in the Chinese medicine, we also experience the spring, or the springtime, as this, this source that's starting to move through the earth and bring up the shoots and bring up the plants, the greenery, it's like this energy moving upward and growing and inspiring, and it's connected to our liver and our gallbladder. And so the liver and the gallbladder, really important at this time of this season, of the seasons of the year, because it is the organ that's going to have that energy focus. And so really focusing on our liver, and we're going to work with the sound of the liver, which is shoo. We're going to work with that in a little bit when we activate our rebirth. We're going to activate our rebirth for today, for the spring equinox. And so the liver and gallbladder, and we can also do our fingers. We can activate it also in our fingers and give extra care to our ring finger, which is also works with our liver meridian. And so really just touching upon the ball of your fingertip. And I want you to take a minute to do that as we kind of ground some of this information here, so we don't get overwhelmed with it all. My cat's getting curious. I'm just breathing all that in. Yeah. And as you do that, let's take a look at any other information that I wanted to share before we go into our process. So I did want to go back to this idea that we are equal day and night, because I think that's really, really important for us to kind of stay in the rhythm. So if we look at the whole year cycle of the holy days, we have the winter solstice, which we experience around December 21st. And that is the kind of like the death process. And the death process is the letting go process. And the light is being born, but it's not coming through all the way through. It's kind of just hibernating in a way. And so all of nature seems to be kind of dismantling at that time. So you have the winter solstice, and then you have Imbolc, in which you're kind of planting the seeds of where you want that energy to start to come through in terms of creation, in terms of manifestation in our lives. And then we have the spring equinox. And then when we get to the spring equinox, it is, again, equal day and night, equal darkness. So we're still in the not knowing phase, and yet we're starting to feel things bubbling up, things starting to move on the outer, whether it's in our ideas, whether it's in our emotions, whether, our passions are becoming alive again. Hi. Whether it's in action, or whether it's kind of the universe is always bringing to us these synchronicities that's matching kind of what's happening within us. So the important piece that I want to note here is that it's really important not to start to feel all that energy that starts to kind of arrive at this spring equinox that might flood you, to really pace yourself as you're moving out, because it can tend to, sometimes we take this energy and we go too fast and then we burn out. And so to really stay really grounded to the internal world, to the guidance, to the listening, to the aspects of you that still don't know. It's like really honoring the parts of you that might still be in the dark and that you want to know. You want to kind of, move quickly, because this energy can excite one. And at the same time, it's like, how do I stay in balance, which is a key word for the spring equinox. It's like you're just a baby shoot coming through, and you want to allow yourself to listen and to kind of take it in rhythm. We'll have new ideas, new inspirations, new passions getting ignited, and you don't want to shoot out, because if we grow too quickly and you're not connected to the root, then we weaken ourselves. We're not able to sustain. So it's really important to really go back in, connect, nourish. Like really bring in the question around, what is nourishing me? What do I continue to do so that I can feel nourished as I continue to grow in this direction? So this is really, really key at this time. I wanted to really bring note to that. So we're going to go into a process now. And if you have a notebook or something to write with, would be really, really helpful, because we're going to use that at the end of this process. So if you want to do that, get something to write with and have it ready, available, or you could use your phone, write it in notes as I do. My notes is starting to crash because I have like over 3,000 notes or more. Maybe it's 6,000. So I don't know if that's if everybody's notes is doing that, but anyway, I find it very handy. And so let's take a deep dive into the spring equinox. One more thing that I want to mention is the eyes. The eyes is very connected to our liver, so it's the energy also of the eyes. So I want to bring that in because there's a lot of healing for our eyes, for our vision, for what we're able to see and not see. And this really speaks to that part of us that it's that part about being in balance and being able to accept that we might have these inspirations, but we can't see how they unfold completely. And just to really be present and keep going within for the vision to become clearer and clearer and clearer. And being present with ourselves, where we are, and patient is another liver element, wood element, patience, and really staying in balance with the energies that are coming through. And there's a lot that's flooding us right now of energies. So some of you might be really feeling that. So let's take a deep breath. And you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable. We're going to do some sounds. We're going to do a little bit of a journey. We're going to actually activate through each of the chakras, but I will be guiding you. We're going to do a full activation for this particular equinox that we're in right now, for the energies that are coming in, and for us to activate the solar frequencies and the mother goddess frequency, the big mother, the big source. That, by the way, is activating a lot of what's moving through the sun, right? So it's activating the whole cosmology and coming through. So we'll start with an invocation, a prayer to the Great Mother. Dear Mother, I bow my head, heart, and womb to you, for you are the creatrix and the creation. From your womb the 10,000 things are born. I ask that you bring me close, awaken me, and keep me in your flow of divine grace. Hold me in your ecstatic presence, where all veils are dissolved, leaving only your whispering truth as my teacher. Let me drink from your cup of mercy and merge with you into the annihilation of my being forever and ever, dear Mother. And so just taking a deep breath here, feeling your root chakra, your sitting bones, your root gateway, opening that up to connect with the earth and to receive the support of the earth. And whatever you're sitting on, letting yourself really feel that through your root. Know that the earth is supporting us and here for us, supporting our physical existence, physical body on all levels. I'm just taking a second to breathe into that, to feel that. And then opening up our crown, the top of our head, and just feeling the light coming in from the cosmic womb, from the mother. And feeling that, and feeling the sun energy coming in from the sun at this equinox, from the moon, from Venus, from all of the cosmology. Just breathing in, letting ourselves expand. And then feeling those two energies in our body. It's kind of moving as that spiral that we were speaking about. Really seeing that spiral take place within our body. And as we call in the Great Mother, Goddess, light beings, ancient feminine mothers and light beings all around us, let yourself feel that womb of light all around you, asking them to create a womb sphere of light as a protection all around you. and organically allowing your field to be cleansed, releasing anything energetically that's not serving you and your highest at this time. And taking a deep breath. I'm going to do an invocation with the drum. Using sound to invite and open up our field for these energies. I'm just feeling into that. Feeling and letting that awaken your DNA, your cell memory, your remembrance of the deeper truth, because this is already living within you. Beautiful. And so we're going to start by bringing our hands to our heart. And just breathing into our heart. And as we set our intention, I want us to connect with and become aware of what's been coming in the last 6 weeks since in bulk. And if you did this process in bulk, you might have remembered some of the seeds you were planting then that you were inspired to plant. Because remember, this is a cycle, and so it's not new, but we're at a new energy with it. So what are the inspirations that you are that you have been feeling in your heart. What are those seeds that you planted? What is it that your heart is yearning to give birth to in your life, in your mind, in your beliefs, right? Because that's where it begins, right? In order for it to be manifested in the physical, we have to start with our consciousness. But becoming aware in this moment of what it is that your heart, that's in your heart, to give energy to rebirth in your life. And it could be anything that feels really deep, like from the heart and from your soul. Not from your from a disconnected mental perception, but rather like what your heart is really deeply yearning for. And it could be around health, around abundance, around family, around, any aspect of your life. And it could be a little bit more specific. So it's not just about more abundance. It's like, how? If the abundance was there and is there, because it is, how would you like to engage with it in your life? For yourself. And in relationships around you. In your work, in what you bring to the world, in your health, in your healing. And just tune in. And just allowing yourself to tune into that. And just noticing what's there. And if you're not sure, that's okay. Remember we said it's equal dark and light. If you're not sure, that's okay. Letting yourself tune in as I'm going to do a medicine song activation. So I just want you to listen to the rhythm, to the sounds, and let that vision, let that yearning, let that inspiration become clearer and clearer as I do this. As you listen, it's like listening to your heart. breathing and allowing whatever is arising for you, and let that be your intention. So we're going to work with that. And if you're not in the knowing, if you're not, it's not clear, that's okay. Let yourself be in curiosity. Let yourself open to the receiving. Let yourself just say, yes, I am willing to open, to receive, to know, to believe. To believe. And as we do this next part of the activation, you might start receiving something new. So we're listening. We're becoming aware. And this is not about knowing the steps. We just want to know the essence of what the vision is, and start to shift the consciousness. Start to believe that it's possible for you. Start to see it, believe it, activate all of the senses. It's not about knowing the how. It's about staying with the vision at this moment. And so just allow yourself to continue to close your eyes and breathe. And we're going to be breathing into each of the gateways. Which are also known as the chakras. And in between, as I'm guiding you, we're going to be doing the liver sound, activating the spring element of wood in Chinese medicine, which is the source energy moving through the inspiration, the light. We're going to do the shoo. That's an SHU, which is really spelled XU, but for our purposes, SHU. Shoo. And we're just holding that tone because the sound activates these frequencies within you, activates and opens so that you can receive the higher frequencies that we're activating here today. So let's focus on our root, which is at our sitting bones, perineum area. And focus there. And I want you to see, I'm using this drum. To see your vision and root it into the earth, right through this root chakra. And we're going to do 3 breaths with the shu. bringing it up to your sacral, which is your lower abdomen, sacral gateway. And here we're going to infuse our vision with the creatrix, creative energy. It's like infusing it with creativity, fusing it with the light. The creative source. And then let's breathe. Plexus. And here we want to really see that this vision, this inspiration that we're yearning for, desiring, is really an empowering inspiration. It empowers us. And we can feel the sacred power supporting us. So feel the power of your vision. Feel the sacred power within you supporting you, lighting it up. This fire of the solar plexus. Breathing it in. Say yes to yourself. And feel the universal love saying yes to you. And to this vision, to this inspiration. Breathing in. energy that's in the way, that's constricting, bringing in doubts, fears, or simply doesn't believe that it's possible, is clearing, dismantling, dissolving. So the next is our throat. Breathing into our throat and breathing in the vision into our throat. See yourself expressing in this way. Expressing in this way. Expressing this vision, sharing it with yourself and with others. This is part of your expression. This inspiration for yourself. Breathing in. Even more in this inspiration. You see yourself walking in it. You feel it. You see it. You hear yourself expressing it. All your senses. Know yourself as this. This is an expression of your being. You're calling it forth. So here we go, breathing it in. The last gateway is the crown gateway. Opening up the crown gateway and letting yourself receive all of the support from the Great Mother frequency and all the light beings, including the Sun and Venus, Mars, all of the feminine asteroids, the asteroid belt between Saturn and Jupiter. Light beings, all of the ancient mothers. receive. Let yourself open to receive and trusting. Breathing to regulate your nervous system as you're flooded with more and more light. Breathing in and sounding. Present in your body, but receiving even from the galactic core, from the Milky Way, from the spiral of our galaxy. And just breathing. And if there's any sound that you want to do organically, let yourself sound. Sound begins to integrate it, allows the frequencies to integrate it into your cells, into your DNA, to awaken, turn on the DNA that remembers yourself as the priestess, as the medicine woman, as the healer, as the oracle, as the magical dimension within you. To integrate our divine being with our physical reality. This is the ascension. This is what we're doing. This is the awakening of the feminine, the mysteries. You can also hum or tone. roots grounded into the earth, supported by the earth. Staying present, aware of your sensations in your body. Very important to stay present. Staying present. Very, very important. And if it feels right to you, in the silence, you can also affirm, I am open to receiving the inspiration. I am open to receiving the support and clarity and the guidance to carry out this vision. Let's just sit for a few minutes, actually just for a little bit, in silence. You can bring your hands to your womb space and your lower abdomen. And asking for 3 action steps. And we're going to ask, we're going to tune in, we're going to listen. 3 action steps connected to this outward motion, inspiration. And you may receive something, you may not receive something. It's going to be your homework. But in this moment, just ask for 3. And just sit and listen. I'll give some space for that. And if you do receive, just jot it down on your paper. Just jot it down on your paper. Doesn't have to make sense. It could be a word, it could be a symbol, it could be full sentences. And for the sake of time, we're going to start to kind of come back and open our eyes if you haven't done so already. And for the next few days, we're in this, this energy is really strong. And you can continue with this process. You can listen to this again, and you can, I would invite you to write down this affirmation, and in the morning read it, which is the affirmation: I am open to receiving the inspiration, support, and clarity on all levels to carry out this vision. And writing that down, reading it to yourself, and then going in to listen, maybe doing some of the sounds of the shoo or the shoo, because it became kind of almost inaudible as we were going up further, the energies. It's just doing it organically, whatever feels right to you. And also the ooh for the womb. And then seeing, because this is part of the balance of the dark and the light. The light is moving forward, outward. The dark is going in, receiving. And, we want to grow being supported, with the support, with the guidance, rooted in your divine dimension. So I would invite you all to do this for the next few days and seeing what, because the clarity will come. We have to be patient, and we have to kind of stay in this rhythm. So yeah, that's what I have to say. I am, so we're doing this on behalf of the non-for-profit, and in the description below we'll also have the donation. We welcome donations because we want to make this programming available for all women and for the awakening of consciousness on the planet. So if you feel moved, and you can, we would ask that you donate what you are able to, so that we can continue to offer these programs and these meditation and processes and activations for all to listen to. And and so have a blessed, blessed, blessed spring equinox, and much love to all. Thank you. Many blessings.